Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Sauce Pot Podcast, where we come to get lost in the sauce. I'm your co-host, ZJ Misadventures. Now, what exactly do we mean when we say lost in the sauce? Now, it's exactly as it sounds, where we take a couple of guests and we come to talk about some nerdy things, whether it be anime, movies, gaming, music, whatever. We're trying to cover it all. I am solo this time. This is going to be a little mini episode. Chef Buen, I wish I could get you on here, but Discord wasn't acting up properly the way I wanted it to work. We also have a fun story about Discord later, if we decide to talk about it. Otherwise, today's mini episode, we're going to talk about Riot Fest that just happened in Chicago, Illinois, and travel in general for those who maybe haven't been to a festival out of town before, or those who haven't traveled by themselves. Just little tips and tricks, things that we've learned, things that we've experienced. Today, I have my guest, Acetylene. Just kidding. I have my guest here. I have hunterhoel and...
Yep, that's me.
And then Common Conrad.
That is I.
I may be referring to them as H2C2 Hunter or Conrad at any point in time. Just know that I collectively call them Acetylene because H2C2. So there's that.
It's a great name and a great joke.
I love it.
You know, not a lot of people like science jokes, and it's really unfortunate. But anyways, we're here to get lost in the sauce.
All the good chemistry jokes are gone, so.
Are gone, yes. All the good chemistry jokes are gone.
No one's ever heard that one before.
Yeah, not at all. Or, you know, you don't want to be a boron and say it again.
Oh,
So,
God.
Before I get into the things that I really want to get saucy about, I know we discussed it a little bit earlier, but we want to go back into it for those of us who haven't heard the Machine Gun Kelly drama.
Oh my
Yay,
gosh.
the MGK baby.
So for those of you who aren't aware, MGK is a rapper, songwriter, music artist person who originally started in a large variety of music, and then he went into rap. But when he went into rap, he started firing away at Eminem, at which point Eminem made 2 diss tracks about him, which pretty much ended his whole ass career.
Mistakes.
Yeah, he really just gave up after that. I don't even think he came back with a comeback, did he?
He came back with a comeback for the first one, which was Rap Devil.
Right, but not for the second.
And then the second one, he changed genres.
Yeah.
he was like, I'll take the L. That's fine.
The worst kind of comeback.
We'll switch genres.
Yeah. And so Homeboy went into pop punk with his new album, Tickets to My Downfall, which, you know, I'm not going to lie, as a pop punk fan, I actually kind of enjoyed a couple of songs off the album. However, what I don't enjoy is what he did recently in Chicago while we were there.
Yes.
And again, for those of you who don't know, basically what happened was mid-show on stage, and they played at the same time slot, Slipknot and MGK. MGK goes something along the lines of, it's not a direct quote, he goes, I'm really glad that I'm not 50 years old and wearing a stupid fucking mask, or something along those lines. At which point, Slipknot, Corey Taylor, he didn't respond at all to the BS. He's just like, you know what, whatever. I don't care. He's an idiot. It's fine. And then following it up, a couple of days later, which at this point we had already taken our planes back.
Right, we were already back home at this point.
Because they played on last Sunday, or at the time of airing, they played on a Sunday. And then pretty much everyone leaves because you're not from Chicago. Obviously, you need to go home, go back to your jobs, go back to your wives, your homes, your husbands, whatever. Or your cats, dogs, you know, fur babies, all babies.
Mm-hmm.
All the babies.
All the babies. Make more babies. I mean, you know, we don't need more people, but we need more babies. So basically, the day after this went live and viral, MGK posts another diss on Twitter or some social media or something or other, saying that we invited Corey Taylor to be on the last album, the Tickets to My Downfall album, and he recorded, and it was awful, and it was garbage, and we didn't want to use it. At which point, Corey Taylor responds, and he goes, you know, I really hate when people air stuff online. And this is all, how do we say? Paraphrased. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem.
This is all paraphrased. So Corey Taylor basically goes, he's a kid, and I hate when you air dirty laundry, but, you know, keep your receipts, guys. #receipts. Because here is the correspondence that I've had with Travis Barker, who does a lot of drumming for MGK, who was basically the middleman between Corey Taylor and MGK, who is the lead singer of Slipknot, Corey Taylor. And he goes, the receipts basically say, man, I'm so excited. Thank you for being on this track. Your verse was great. This is coming from MGK to Corey Taylor. thank you so much. I would really want a second verse, and this is what I want you to do in the second verse. And then Corey Taylor responds to that email with, hey, I really appreciate that you wanted me on this album. Thank you for the opportunity. But I don't like to be ghostwrited. I don't like to be forced into writing a specific way. So if that's what you want, you might want to search elsewhere. And there is legitimate correspondence that you can look up. Go to Corey Taylor's Twitter. I'm not going to link it to you because you can find it yourself. I imagine that you're much more knowledgeable of Twitter than I am because I don't even have one. But we do have one for the podcast, so check us out at Saucepot Podcast.
Good plug.
Subtle plug.
I just want to say Corey Taylor handled the situation very well. I love it when people don't buy into the drama that someone's trying to start up and rather just come out with the actual facts of the situation. And it kind of bothers me that Machine Gun Kelly, so new to a genre, would come in and just try to start drama with somebody that's more well established in it. It seems counterintuitive almost to come into a genre and then shit on other bands that were already there.
Maybe this small part in his head is like, hey, if I diss people who like that music, other people who dislike that music will listen to my music. And as a not Slipknot huge fan, who also, again, I already said that I kind of enjoyed the album, Tickets to My Downfall.
Right.
I'm not the person that he was speaking to, but maybe there was a small part of him that's like, hey, if I diss this established band that has a following, a very large following, might I add, or an entire genre at this point of performers like Ghost and other performers who put on shows of, and like, by extension, not the same genre, but like Daft Punk, they wear helmets, and that's what they do is they perform a show. Maybe he was trying to do something and get more coverage.
Yeah, and I can see it from that perspective. Similarly, the no press is bad press, all press is good press.
All
kind
press
of thing.
is good
Had that
press,
backwards. Yeah. But I can understand that from a marketing perspective. I just don't think it's the cleanest, best way to get your name in headlines.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that, unfortunately.
And it kind of comes across as like, oh, it would be so badass to go into a genre, just be so good at it, and just be like, hey, you know what? Fuck you guys who like pioneered this whole fucking thing. And then, but the reality is, with the way that who's the lead singer?
Corey Taylor.
The way that Corey Taylor handled the situation just made him look like a complete ass, and it totally backfired. He doesn't look badass. He just looks ass.
You know those memes where it has like the really stupid looking Shiba Inu and he's like, man, this is me, and then like the really buff Shiba Inu with like big old body and a tiny head. Like I feel like that's exactly how Corey Taylor and MGK handled this. Like MGK is the really weird sad Shiba Inu and then Corey Taylor's the big old buff Shiba Inu, just like
I will handle this respectfully.
Yeah, I will handle this like an adult.
Like
Jesus Christ.
You're not that guy, bud.
I've been doing this longer than you've been alive, buddy.
Since you were a twinkle in your father's eye. Like, Jesus Christ.
You're not that guy, pal. You're not that guy.
I did want to cover that just because I've been seeing a lot of that stuff on the internet lately, and for those of us who aren't in the know, I imagine a lot of people who listen to this podcast because of me aren't invested in the genre at all. They're just like, hey, I want to support you. They're also all my family, so like, you know, there's that. So this is a shout out to Big John and the rest of you who don't have any knowledge of this genre or any knowledge of the stuff we talk about, but you're still listening for me. This is an explanation directly for you, and it's not a call out at you. It's a show of love. So there's that.
Hi, Big John.
Right at this point, hey. However, we did get a little lost in the sauce there, so let's go ahead and get back on main topic, Riot Fest, Chicago, Illinois, 2021.
It was an amazing time, first of all. I had such an awesome time in Chicago. The weather was great. I really enjoyed all the sights and sounds, and just being able to go to Riot Fest was just the cherry on top of everything.
I'd have to agree. Traveling with y'all was actually really good. And for those of you who weren't aware, I went to Chicago with these people, which is why they're guesting for me. Comrade Hunterhoel. Really great time. We went to Cloudgate the first day that we were there, which I understand Chicagoites, whatever the word is.
Chicags?
Chicags. Chicags in the
Sounds
wheel.
like a slur. I wouldn't.
Yeah, I know. It's like,
Okay, yeah, never mind. The shicks.
no,
that's
even worse. I know that Chicago natives, let's go with that,
Yeah.
hate that Cloudgate thing because the artist is an asshole, and like there's a whole like diatribe about this. Actually, let's go into it. So
What is Cloudgate?
Cloudgate is that big ass silver bean that we went to, that we met up at.
Oh, gotcha.
And it's an artistic piece from the artist who invented Vanta Black, which is like the blackest of all blacks or whatever.
Yes.
But he basically said that no one can use this unless you pay me for everything that you use with this, and then when you make art with it, you have to credit me for using this. And so
For
basically
Vanta Black?
for Vanta Black.
The fuck?
Yeah, and so like Chicago natives. All right, so we're gonna go with Chicago natives because I feel like that's the least offensive part of this. So Chicago natives literally hate that guy. He's like, yeah, we have this really beautiful landmark that's really cool looking that everyone wants to go to, but fuck that guy.
That's fair.
It'd be like if Adolf Hitler made if Adolf Hitler made the Alamo, we'd be like, hey, we love the Alamo, but fuck that guy.
It's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, wasn't he an artist?
He was also an artist.
So there we go.
So there we go. But
Did we just compare a contemporary modern artist to Hitler?
we can compare almost anything to Hitler. It may not be a good comparison, but we could do it.
That's fair. That's fair.
Okay, so anyways, back to the diatribe. Following up, another artist made an open sourced new black, quote unquote, that anyone can use for free, royalty free, except for the guy who created Vanna Black and Cloudgate.
Fucking
And it's like,
awesome.
and you have to sign a waiver when you utilize this new black that says you can use this as long as you don't sell it or give it, or basically you cannot pass it along to that other guy at all. So like Chicago natives hate Cloudgate, but everyone who goes to Chicago still goes to Cloudgate specifically because it's a beautiful art installation and it's really cool and it draws attention. So
Yeah. Good shot for the family picture, Instagram.
yeah,
whatever you
honestly,
need.
yeah. Insta, whatever.
It actually is surprising how big it is once you get there as well. I wasn't really expecting that.
Yeah. It's a lot bigger than most people think it is. But yeah, check out Common Conrad and Hunter Hoel on Instagram. Subtle plug.
I don't use Instagram very much, so it's mostly dead. But check me out anyway.
Oh, I check you out all the time, sir. Wow.
Oh, damn it.
You don't get to use my real name.
Oh, no. I'm sorry.
Just put beeps there.
Yeah. It's just, hi, beep. Yeah, refer to me as ZJ from henceforth.
ZJ. Oh, ZJ.
Yes. Which is really sad. I guess this is going into it too. Which is really sad because apparently there's like a Family Guy thing where like you're taking a dump and a ZJ is like getting head while you're taking a dump or something.
Eric, I don't know who you think we are, but neither of us watch enough Family Guy to get that reference.
Well, like somebody once brought it up to me. They're like, "Oh, ZJ, that's real sexual." And I was like, "It's two stuffed animals, so it's really not." And they're like, "Well, it's something related to something or other." I need to do more research on it. I really don't care about what people think it is.
Don't even waste your time.
Because-
It's not worth it.
Again, my whole name ZJ Misadventures is because when I travel, I don't take pictures of myself. I take pictures of these two stuffed animals, which are, as much as I hate to say, Nintendo based. Fuck you, Chef Win.
You leave that in.
I'm probably gonna leave it in. It's a little plushie of Zorua, which is a dark type Pokemon who is a tricky fox Pokemon, and then a little plushie of Jolteon, which is, for most people know who the fuck Jolteon is because they're Gen 1 runners.
Yeah.
So, but for those of you who don't know, it's a lightning based dog looking Pokemon. So basically I have a fox and a dog plushie that I take with me whenever I travel, and I take pictures of them, and those are the misadventures because half the time I go on some random side quests in my life. So, you know, misadventures at this point. But yeah, that's why ZJ Misadventures. For those of you who never knew, you feel free to call me ZJ. Most people do. Otherwise, people know me by my other handles, which I'm not going to get into, but I digress. Back to the point. Lost in the sauce. My apologies. Take your drinks because that's part of the drinking game. The first thing I want to get saucy about would be Ubers, rideshare, and the like. So as a self-proclaimed public transportation advocate, I do want to applaud Chicago CTA lines of trains and buses. The reason for it is like I actually really love trains. Here in my base of operations, the town that I am based in, we actually have a museum of transportation. And for those of you who haven't gone, I'm pretty sure it's like $5 to get in. Do check it out. It's really cool. Again, they're not paying me to say this. I personally love trains and like other public transportation, like trams and subways. I love them. I typically do try to ride at least once in any city I go to with public transportation just to support. However, ride shares, Ubers, trains, what we got?
Dude, Ubering during our first day there was so dumb. Our first night was so freaking dumb because of the traffic due to the Mexican Independence Day. Was that not the first night?
Yeah,
No, it's just I was like, wait a minute, what? No, yeah, our first night there it was insane because with the Mexican Independence Day, it gets celebrated for 2 days, I think, in Chicago. I don't know if it's just in Chicago, but in Chicago it got celebrated for 2 days. And apparently it had been a couple years since they've been able to have a parade. So it was especially bad because everyone was going crazy. And what they were doing is they were flooding the streets and having the Mexican flags poking out of their cars, flooding the streets and just honking and honking and honking and driving insane. And there was a ton of road closures to try and control the flow of traffic.
Yes, so we actually were trying to take an Uber that night, and because of the traffic, it was a really frustrating experience, actually, which is why, as ZJ was saying, public transportation can be a really big plus in those situations. Our Uber driver canceled on us after 40 minutes of waiting.
It was going to be $40 to get to where we needed to go anyway, and then it was going to be like $38, something like that, and then after 40 minutes of waiting, he canceled, and what we ended up doing was hailing a taxi, kind of last second. We got in. He charged us $9 for the whole ride, so it wasn't even $40, it was $9. And we get to our destination, and we tipped him like $20, and it was still cheaper, $10 cheaper than the freaking Uber, plus whatever tip we would have given the Uber driver. And by the time we got out, he was like, "You are my last people for the night. I am going home. I'm not driving this stupid traffic. This is terrible."
That's freaking awful. But I'm really glad you brought up the cost of this, because at least at the time of visiting, CTA for their transit lines, which includes buses, it includes buses and trains, for $20 you would get a 7-day pass, and you could just tap and ride like at this. And the crazy part is this is new technology, because the last time I was in Chicago they didn't have this. Mm-hmm. The last time you had to like buy a card and you put it in the machine and it spits it back out and you take it. The new ones, they have like NFC technology tap cards, and you would just tap it on the thing and you'd go, which was really cool because for $20 is 7 days. It's cheap. I paid $15 for 3 days like an idiot because I was like, oh, I'm only here for 3 days because I can't count and I can't do math. So I land from the plane, and then I go down to the subway because I'm like, I'm not gonna take an Uber from the airport. I'm going to take the train because I love trains and I love public transportation. And, support public transportation when you can. Not a lot of people can because, like, obviously you have a car or, like, you have whatever you have. When you have the opportunity, particularly when you're traveling, please support public transportation because we need it. And I'll get to the base of operations new buses at some point. But either way, when you can, support public transportation. So, for $20, how lovely is that? 7 days, a whole ass week. Mm-hmm. And I didn't take the public transportation as much as I thought I was going to, because like I literally picked my hotel for the reason that it was close to a train station. That way I could just like ride the train to the venue, which was at Douglas Park, which was really nice actually. Bring allergy medicine if you have allergies, because like my allergies really fucked me up. But it was a pretty nice park, like honestly.
And Chicago's parks in general were all gorgeous. And I think they really take good care of their city, and it shows from everything to the parks to the public transportation, as we were saying, because they had such a diverse amount of public transportation.
Yeah, I took their subway system and train multiple times, and everything was freaking spotless. It was clean. It was wild. I mean, it's not they don't have a ton of infrastructure, like nothing like New York. But it is definitely enough to haul the people around they need to haul around. And man, it was in great condition, and the trains were almost always on time. The latest I had seen was a 10-minute delay, and that actually really boned me over. So I was trying to get somewhere quickly. That's the only downside to doing the public transportation, is because if they're delayed, then it takes extra long, or if you miss it or you get on the wrong train, you're shit out of luck. Got to ride it out.
It's funny that he says this because I did not personally experience this. Actually, Common Conrad did. The beautiful thing about Chicago's public transportation, at least, is like they'll keep their stuff up to date, like on their apps and whatnot. So like you can monitor it and be like, oh, it's 1 minute ahead, 2 minutes behind, whatever. So I may not tell the story as accurately as he should, but I don't know if he remembers this. He went to go and he's like, oh, cool, perfect. I have time. It's going to take X amount of time. Boom, I've got this. And then
20 minutes.
He said 20 minutes. And then it was like delayed 4 minutes. And he's like, okay, cool. Yeah, fine. It's like 20 minutes. And he gets there and it's like, oh, actually the delay got fixed and now we're on time. So he got there with the expectation of the delay.
It got there a minute early. Not even was it not late. It was early. A minute early. And it left early. I was like, what kind of bullshit? What? Even if I had gotten there on time? This is so dumb. I was so mad. So I had to wait 12 minutes sitting there. And I'm like stressing out the whole time because I'm like, am I on the wrong side of the tracks?
That is another thing, yeah. I'm glad you brought
scary.
that up because so the first night I went to Riot Fest, Douglas Park, I kind of just like followed other people, and then when I got onto the station where you board, I realized people were on the other side, and I was like, oh no. And I'm looking left and right, and like you couldn't see me doing it, but I'm looking left and right, and I was like, am I on the wrong side of the tracks? And I'm 100% like checking my phone. I'm like, okay, which direction is this train gonna go? What side am I on? Is this the side that it goes this way? Like, oh my god. And then like I'm looking up, I'm looking at the signs, I'm looking at the map, and like the map doesn't tell you anything, it just tells you what stops they have, and I'm just like panicking and like physically panicking. And then the train in the opposite direction shows up, and I'm like, oh, okay, okay, I'm on the right side. Okay, we're going the other direction, we're okay. Like I'm so glad the other train arrived first, because I would have like lost my goddamn mind if the train that I was standing on showed up first and it was in the wrong direction. I would have lost my friggin' mind.
I was so afraid that was gonna happen to me, dude. It's so nervous. The only indicator that they have, because it's the green line, the pink line, they're organized by color, but then they're also organized by last stop. So the green line has Loop and Howard. Depending on which way you're going on the green line, and so there was multiple times where I forgot where to look for that word on Google, or I didn't see it on the sign, and so I'm standing there like, this is the only platform. I have to be standing on the right platform, but I feel like I'm standing on the wrong platform anyway. Multiple times that has happened.
Any thoughts on public transportation there?
So I spend way too much money on private transportation, unfortunately.
She's bougie.
No, it's not a bougie thing. It's actually an anxiety thing. I get a little stressed being around a lot of people, and also, as you were saying, the added stress of not knowing which way you're going can be a little overwhelming, especially when you have places you want to go in a certain amount of time. Having a delay due to user error can be a very frustrating experience. So I personally spent way too much money on Ubers, and it's unfortunate because I really wish I could have supported the public transportation more.
I'm really glad you brought that up. Rideshare programs in a pre-COVID world would have been clutch. So I've been to Chicago before, and it's called rideshare for a reason. For those of you who have never experienced rideshare as it was supposed to do, the whole premise is a driver, would go pick you up and then pick up more people and then drop you all off on the way to the last destination, which is why it's called rideshare. It's not because you're sharing a ride with the owner of the car. No, it's called rideshare because you're sharing the ride with other riders. And in a pre-COVID world, I guarantee you this would have been perfect, because like we could have piled into like an SUV, and the SUV could have taken 8 people to Douglas Park, and that person would have made bank while we're spending almost nothing because like we're gonna tip the dude, 20%, 40, at minimum $5, $10, whatever. So in a pre-COVID world, rideshare probably would have been the play.
Yeah, 100%.
However, we are in a
Post-COVID world.
Post-COVID, current COVID world where that is not ideal.
Correct. So in a post-COVID world, rideshare systems with massive bunny fingers is not necessarily a rideshare system. It's more along the lines of a less transparent taxi system. Mm-hmm. And again, the benefits of things like Uber and Lyft and any other rideshare programs is you get to know your driver up front. You get to know what car you're going to be riding in. So if you're bougie and you want a nicer car, you can pay for that. Yeah. Where on the flip side, you go to taxis, and taxis are like gambling at this point. Because you'll hail a taxi, and then they'll be like, where are you going? You're like, I'm going here. And they don't tell you generally what your cost is going to be. They're going to be like, all right, hop in. And when you get into the backseat of a taxi, they typically have a breakdown sheet of your fees. And just to go through a couple of them that I remembered, it's not even all the fees that there's applied. It's some things like $1 fee for the first passenger, 50 cents for the additional passenger, every X amount of seconds, every Y amount of distance. There's base fees, and there's like my favorite thing was seeing the throw up cleanup fee, which was like $50.
Yeah. I'm sure they use that all the time.
That checks out, though.
Yeah, I mean, the whole it checks out. Like, I'm really glad when I get to see rubber mats, and I'm just like, yeah, you're a smart person.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
$50, and you just spray off your
you literally just go done. But again, you're gambling at this point because at least with an Uber, you're like $25, that's a little much. Or you're like $50, I'll take public transportation. It might take me 4 times the amount of time to get there, but I'm gonna spend like
$6,
10 times the amount less.
Yeah.
Right, and I actually had to look into it because I didn't know very much about how taxis charged their customers, and I looked into it when we were deciding whether to take Ubers or taxis. And at the time going into it, I actually thought they only charged based on mileage, and researching it, it does actually based on time, which is scary because if you had someone that got into an accident on the highway and that took up extra time, you could be paying a fortune.
Or there's a Mexican Independence Day.
Exactly.
For the love of God.
And you don't have a savvy driver that doesn't know where to go, that knows where to go with all the road closures, it might end up costing you an arm and a leg. And that is the pro to Uber and Lyft because you know right up front this is how much I will be paying and you can make your decision from there.
Which is why I say it's like gambling. And me personally, who is a big card game player, I like PAX, man. I like PAX a lot.
Yes, sir. I mean, don't we all, though? There's something so special about it. I do want to say it's awesome that they're celebrating Mexican Independence Day. That's not what I'm complaining about. I'm complaining about the stupid traffic.
I am. So this is actually really hilarious because we went to, me, Hunter, and Conrad, we went to Navy Pier, and then we're like, oh man, okay, it's early. It's like 7:00, and we think it's early. In Chicago, apparently that's really late.
Especially for a Friday, you know.
It was a Thursday.
Oh shoot! Oh yeah, that's right.
So we're like, oh man, it's 7:00. The sun's setting. It's a really nice sunset. We went on the I was gonna say carousel. It's not right. The
Ferris wheel.
The Ferris wheel. We went on the Ferris wheel and we watched the sunset. And like the entire time I was complaining, I was like, man, it'd be really nice if the city planners like had set this carousel up so when the sun is setting, it's in between these two cities, the two buildings. I was a little early because it was blinding me in the face, and I was like, man, it's really pretty, but man, I can't see. It was awful. Anyways, back to the topic of the story. So we're parting ways, and I'm like, "Hey guys, let's meet up at my hotel. We'll have a small little pre-Riot Fest party." Which technically that was not even true because Riot Fest started on Thursday. There was a pre-day with like Echoline Trio and some other people, Morrissey. We didn't go because like we kind of wanted to see the town and like explore and like have fun and like kind of like a decompression from the flight and stuff. So I get into my Uber and the guy's like, oh yeah, let me take you straight to your hotel. Yeah. So we get onto the street and he's like about trying to turn left. Or actually, he's trying to go straight. And then a cop shows up. and like, you know, lights on, and then he's like, you gotta go, you gotta turn, you can't go straight, you gotta turn. So he turned left, and he's like, okay, well, I'll turn right on the next street. Not the next street, because, you know, in downtown in most cities it's one way, so like you have to go a couple streets over.
Yeah.
So he's like, okay, well, I'll go a couple streets over, then I'll turn right. Oh, there's another cop. There's another cop, and he's like, you gotta turn around. And he's like, man, I really don't want to get on the highway. I was like, do what you gotta do, man. Like, I'm in an Uber, I'm not in a taxi, so like, do what you gotta do. I've already paid you, so you're done.
Yeah.
So he's like, okay. So like, we get on the highway, and like the highway was backed up because like I guess everyone got redirected to the highway.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes.
At which point everyone got redirected to the parking lot. So mind you, when I split with these two, they're like, you know, we're close to the hotel, we'll just walk. And I'm like, well, I'm not close to mine, so I'm gonna take an Uber.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure by the time it took me to get back to my hotel in an Uber, they probably walked to their hotel and had ample time to spare because gridlock traffic.
I can guarantee it, and I was not even walking that fast.
Nope. She's got bad knees.
Actually,
Gotta
they
walk
even stopped.
slow.
They called me a couple times. They're like, hey, we're at CVS. Did you need anything? I'm still in the friggin' Uber.
Oh, I didn't know you were still in the
I
Uber
was
when I
still
called
in the
you.
Uber.
You were trying to get to CVS.
I was
though.
trying. Oh, yeah. I specifically told the Uber driver to drop me off at CVS because apparently in Chicago, everything closes at like 8 p.m. on a Thursday. Because I guess Chicago doesn't bump late at night like Texas
Dude,
does.
no, you know what? Thursday, you don't buy anything Thursday. It's just part of the culture there. You don't eat out. You don't go to CVS. You close at 8. You don't buy anything Thursday. It's fine.
Yeah. So like they call me like 2 or 3 times in the Uber, and they're like, "Hey, okay, we're at CVS. We're gonna get you plastic cups, so don't get the plastic cups." And like, I was like, "Oh, cool, thank you, man, I appreciate that." And then they call me again like 10 minutes later. They're like, "Okay, well, we forgot this. We're gonna go back to CVS. Are you sure you don't need anything else?" I was like, "Oh, go ahead and grab this." And then the third time they call me, I am literally in the threshold of my hotel room. I'm just like, yeah, guys, I just got back. So, and they're like, okay, cool. I'm glad you made it to CVS. Because like at that point, yeah, I had gone to CVS, and actually one of the bag rips on me on the way back because I was maybe like two to 3 blocks away from my hotel. So I'm picking up my bags, and I have a lot at this point, which is more than I thought I was gonna grab. Like I had like maybe 4 to 5 bags of like shit. Like I bought booze, and I bought chips, and I bought nuts.
You bought like a whole liter of vodka.
That was not the smartest decision, but you know what?
Hard to take a liter of vodka on a plane.
It's also hard to not buy a liter of vodka when it's like $20, and then like
That's fair.
buying a small amount is like 12, and you're like,
Oh, I know.
You're like, pay $8 more for more alcohol.
yeah. And at this point, like in my mind, don't do this. I don't condone this. I'm just saying that this is what I do. I don't condone this, and I don't recommend it. I don't recommend. I don't. What's the word? I don't support. I don't sponsor. Vodka and water bottles, man.
Okay,
Oh my God.
I think I got a strong opinion about vodka and water bottles. So there's been 2 times now, which I know doesn't sound like a lot, but it feels like a lot. Where he goes, where I'm like, oh man, you know, I'm pretty thirsty, and ZJ Misadventures hands me what seems to just be water, and he's like, hey, have a sip, man. I notice you're thirsty. You drank all your water. I'm like, yo, thanks. Take a huge draft, mouthful, and then my brain goes, this is straight vodka and water. And I give him a look. I swallow it though. I never spit it out.
Yeah, he's not a quitter. So
I'm a trooper, not a quitter.
I just want to say too and add that the last time this happened, ZJ actually coaxed Conrad into it. This is not Conrad's fault at all.
I didn't coax anyone to anything. I noticed his drink was empty.
And you,
I looked at you. I looked at you, and I poured it into my water bottle. And then I went, hey man, your drink is empty. You want some water? And I didn't lie. There was water in that.
You know what? Yeah.
bottle.
technically water.
Yes.
Technically water. It's technically water. As alcohol is technically sugar.
Yeah, I gave you some sugar water. I hope you're happy.
It's
You're
just sugar.
a happy little bee.
It's fermented sugar water. You're welcome.
Well, vodka's more like fermented potato water, but yeah,
Yeah.
I got you.
Doesn't sound as nice.
I actually love calling it potato water, to be fair.
I agree, but if you said sugar water and potato water sound equally as pleasant to sip on, I would say, I don't know about that.
You know, as a bland hoe who's currently drinking a Truly, I feel like potato water might be more enjoyable than sugar water.
And that's why I get the headaches and you wake up feeling refreshed and hydrated.
Yeah.
That's true, because I drink potato water and you drink sugar water.
Yes, exactly.
I like that. That was good. That was a good turn. I think it's also pretty accurate.
Yeah, 100% accurate. Sorry, a little lost in the sauce there.
Yeah.
Me personally, again, I really wanted to take more public transportation. I didn't. I took a lot more Ubers than I thought I was going to. Because again, I bought a 3-day pass. Like as soon as I arrived in Chicago, I bought a 3-day pass for public transportation, which was only $15, which is really awesome. For those of you who are traveling, look into public transportation. Please do. It is a great, great feature.
And I do want to say, Eric, to give yourself some credit, you did actually use it enough times to validate the cost. Yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like I again, in my mind going into Chicago, I was like, yes, I'm not going to take, like, I might take a couple Ubers, but, like, this reason I got the hotel in that position because I could be right off the transit line, like, it's a block away from the hotel. And in my mind, I was like, man, $15? I'm going to be paying, like, $1 a trip. That's amazing. And it was not $1 a trip. It was, like, $5 a trip. I feel like I only used the public transportation, like, 3 times, which is still really cheap.
Yeah.
Like, even if it was 4, it's like $3 to $5 a time that I used it. It's still super cheap. But when you're traveling, you really need a budget for transportation and food, which I think alcohol probably was the thing that I spent most of my money on. But I'm going to blame it on ride shares and food.
Honestly, I'd say the ride shares. I mean, yeah, the freaking Ubers
Yeah.
are so insanely expensive. I don't think we paid anything under $30 for an Uber the whole time we were there.
I agree. And, like, even a short distance was, like, still, like, $30.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
100%.
I took a screenshot on our way to the airport back. It was $95.
What the
30-minute drive.
30-minute drive. We got, and then some dude some sketchy dude. No, he was nice. He was super nice. He was like, "Are you waiting for an Uber?" I was like, "Well, we had our hotel call us a taxi."
Because we
And-
were going to gamble
Yeah.
if that's what Uber was saying. We were willing to roll those dice.
I mean, worst case scenario, we would just end up paying right
A
around
little
the
bit
same
more,
much as
yeah.
Uber,
Yeah.
so probably wouldn't pay any more than that.
Did you take the taxi?
No, what we ended up doing, we went with that guy that came up and was like, "Hey, are you waiting for someone?" We were like, "Yeah, we have a taxi coming," and he's like, "I'll take you to the airport," because he was like, "Where are you going?" We're going to O'Hare, and he said, "I'll do."
You went to O'Hare?
Yeah,
Why don't you go to Midway?
International Airport,
Yeah.
O'Hare.
Okay. Cheap flights are at Midway, everyone. Go to Midway. There's a reason we go to Midway. We don't go to O'Hare. O'Hare
Use,
is...
Trivago.
No.
What did we use?
You didn't book the tickets.
TripAdvisor.
It was just no. It was Expedia.
Costco Explorer.
Stop.
Stupid.
Stop.
I don't know anything.
It was Expedia, and it was
Expedia,
actually
nice.
a good deal, which is why I ended up going with it. So I did not have a huge say in what hotel I got. I mostly
Ladies and
went with
gentlemen,
price.
Midway Airport, Chicago. All the cheap flights go to Midway. Do not buy a ticket to O'Hare.
O'Hare was
They're like, oh, $90 Uber ride? Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, yep. O'Hare was. It looked nice though.
That was a beautiful airport.
It's a beautiful airport.
Oh yeah.
But
Go to
goddamn.
Midway.
Don't be like us. We were stupid.
Yeah. So going back, the guy offered. He was like, "I'll take you to O'Hare for 80." I was like, "Our taxi's gonna give it to us for 60," and he was like, "Okay." So he gave it to us for 60. We ended up paying 75. That's still probably cheaper than it would have been with the taxi.
Yeah. I mean, at that point. But I mean, Midway.
I know.
fuck about Midway though.
Everyone goes to Midway, you dumb it.
Fuck about Midway. It's all about the international airports.
Don't. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are trying to travel, go to the smaller airport. Because the smaller airports, not only do they appreciate you more, they also cost less. And if you're trying to travel cost savvy, do not go to an international airport.
Yeah, but Midway probably doesn't have $10 drinks.
Oh, you're right. They have $9 drinks.
I just want want to say these are all things that you learn as you travel more.
100%.
And this was our actually first time traveling by ourselves. It was a great experience, and we will definitely do things differently on our next one. Getting great advice from ZJ.
Midway.
Yes, we will take that to the bank. We will use that advice.
It hurts less on the pockets. It hurts less in our hearts.
Yeah. Well, speaking of hurting less, me personally, with the caveat being alcohol, I still agree. Like I said earlier, spent most of my money on ride shares and food, which isn't the most fun part of traveling. Like when you travel, you think about like going places and experiences and, you know, museums and city culture and like the couple spots. And like when you think of travel, you think of like beach views and piers and stuff. And I 100% know that I didn't spend most of my money on those experiences. I spent most of my money on food, alcohol, and ride shares. And if you are a sober bird, man, you're going to spend way less money than I spent, because I applaud you, first off. Second off, if you're recovering, don't fall back into it. It's not worth it. Third off, if you're a boozy bird like I am, enjoyable but expensive. And if you're traveling on a budget, which most younger people will be, and most older people are probably too old to care, if you can exnate an expense out of your budget, by all means, it should be alcohol. That's why you should travel with minis.
Yeah, way cheaper.
But let's take a moment here to appreciate the vehicles that you own, or that you're leasing, or that you're whatever you drive in your hometown. Let's take a moment to appreciate them, because yes, while parking may have been way more expensive for like $30 parking at the venue, parking at the hotel, parking hourly on the streets of downtown in any city that you're in, because like I know, even though downtown where I live, you know, you're still paying like $10 base fee to park if you go downtown for an hour.
Oh yeah, if you can even find a parking spot.
If you can even. Granted, River Center, San Antonio, there's always parking. So if you ever need a place to park, River Center, San Antonio. Let me just say this. The night that I got back to my home base of operations, I took my car out for a drive, went to my local karaoke bar. Oh man, how nice it felt to be able to drive and not panic. Because like when an Uber driver or a taxi driver or even a train takes a turn a little too quickly, and you're just like, oh man, like this, I'm not in control here. Like
shit bars.
Yeah, like you're not in control of the situation. And when you are in control of your own vehicle, of your own destiny, of your own speed, it's such a nice feeling to be in control
100%.
of that situation. And I know you guys have really nice crossover SUV.
Oh yeah, I loved being back in my car. It was a great experience. I felt like I had a piece of me back.
Honestly, though.
Oh, and it just knowing where you're at as well is so nice. I think that's kind of goes side by side with being back in my car, and also knowing which streets to take and knowing where to park and where to go. It does feel comforting to be back home.
And on top of that, like, let's say you're trying to get to a specific destination. You may not know the roads that'll get you there, but you 100% know kind of the roads that might get you there.
Right.
So like, oh, okay, the major highway is blocked off. I know the general direction that I'm going. Let's take a side road.
Yeah.
And I think that's a feeling most people don't understand if they don't travel. And I highly recommend anybody to travel at least once in their life. If they've never traveled, travel at least once outside of your state. If you're in the United States, if you're outside of your country, outside of your city, because I don't know how the things work outside of U.S. But
into a different territory.
Like, and you're in Europe, your country drive is less than my city drive, so fuck you.
Oh, I know. We're so used to everything being so far apart. That was a little wild as well, being in a big city like Chicago. It just was, everything was so close. Being able to walk places, so nice. We would never be able to do that here.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, the only way we'd be able to do that is if we were downtown and we're literally bar hopping. Or like even on, there's a street called St. Mary Street. Like that's maybe the one place you could walk that's not downtown. Or like the Pearl. There are places here in San Antonio, Texas, which is the base of operations, where if you're not a food aficionado or if you're not a partaker of the alcohol, you could not walk from place to place. You couldn't experience multiple things. Like we could not walk from the Alamo to the missions. You cannot do that.
No, 100%.
Which is crazy because the Alamo was a mission, but it's just too far from the other ones.
Yeah.
Where in Chicago, you could walk from Cloud Gate to Navy Pier. You could walk from Navy Pier to the Drake Hotel on the north side of Lake Michigan. Like, there are things that you could walk to in Chicago in the same amount of distance to hit multiple different landmarks that you could not do in Texas, at least.
Oh, 100%.
Texas is way too spread out for that experience.
Even downtown.
Yeah, even downtown.
For downtown San Antonio.
Because, like, I'll tell you this. Like, I used to do the con circuit for like, I was going to call it Anime Expo, but it's called San Japan. And then for Comic-Con, because amazingly, San Antonio has a Comic-Con. Alamo City Comic-Con represent.
Never been, want to go.
It's not as good.
Oh,
It's not as good. If you're going to spend the money to go to a Comic-Con, please go to San
awesome.
Diego Comic-Con.
Oh, San Diego.
Yeah, if you're going to spend the money. Because, like, they have, like, VIP passes and shit. Like, if you're going to spend the money, go to San Diego Comic-Con.
When's the next? We need to schedule that trip then.
COVID.
Never mind. We cannot schedule the trip.
There you go. If you're going to spend the money to take a convention trip, Anime Expo, San Diego Comic-Con, those are the big ones. And those are, like, if you're willing to spend upwards of, like, $2,000. Because, yeah, you could come to, like, Alamo City Comic-Con. You could spend 4 days here. And your cost is maybe $1,000 for food, room and board, and the experience.
And Ubers.
Not even Ubers. You just buy a hotel. The beautiful part about Alamo City Comic-Con, this is really down a rabbit hole, by the way, but this is what I love about this podcast, is like, we can do this.
Lost in the sauce. You're welcome. Are you sad?
Eric, sad to be drinking? No.
He's drinking to be sad.
I really enjoy the conventions that we have here in San Antonio, Texas. And I've done my best to not say where I'm from, but San Antonio, Texas, represent. We even have a BDSM convention that comes into town.
What?
Yeah.
I don't even know that.
Yeah, it's really on the DL. Down low for you old folk. We have so many conventions. Like, we have like car shows that come here. We have anime shows. We have Comic-Con. We even recently got a PAX. It's called PAX South. We have so many conventions that come to San Antonio, and I feel like this city doesn't get a lot of love because, like, if it's not downtown, it's nothing, which is fair, because when you travel, you pretty much experience downtown in most places. So you'd be like, even when we went to Chicago, it was downtown. But San Antonio is the city that gets no love. It's like, we're not Dallas. We're not Asian Central Texas. We're not Austin. We're not Keep Austin Weird. We're not the capital. We don't even have a lot of music venues. So, like, a lot of music shows don't come to San Antonio. We come to New Braunfels because they have wide open venues, or like they come to Austin or Dallas or Houston. So San Antonio doesn't really get a lot of love. But what I will say is the convention circuit in San Antonio is friggin' huge. And if you are interested in any of the things that San Antonio promotes, you should 100% experience it, because it is probably the most cost-efficient experience you'll experience. The most cost-efficient experience that you will have. Yeah, way better. Yeah, there you go.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Kiss. With that being said, that's not me saying that I hate users or rideshare programs or anything like that. Again, as I said earlier, if I had taken public transportation as much as I wanted to, dirt cheap, relatively not expensive. I spent maybe $2,000 on my last trip, proportionately. Again, a lot of food, a lot of booze, a lot of rideshare. But again, I spent like maybe $2,000 on my last trip. But if I had done things as I had planned, dirt cheap, inexpensive. Ubers would have been maybe a third of my cost, just taken out of the equation. But as my military history teacher once told me, no plan survives contact. So, spent a lot of money on Ubers. But this, again, not to say that I hate Ubers. I actually had a really nice experience on my last Uber of the trip. It was a student named Juan, and he was taking me to the airport midway, by the way. He took me to the airport, and like for the first like solid 5 minutes of the trip, you get that weird like, oh, I'm just a driver and this is my passenger. Like I don't know what to say. Like I don't want to step on his toes. Like political bullshit. And then the driver was going through the motions, like, oh, what are you going to the airport for? And I was like, oh, I'm going home from a trip. And he's like, oh, what were you here for? Like, oh, I was here for Riot Fest. And then on that topic, we got into music, and I had a really great experience with that driver. In fact, I most recently found a new artist because of that driver.
Wow.
The new artist is named Illenium. If you've never checked him out, it's kind of like a dubstep thing, so I'm pretty sure our mutual friend Sam would love him.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
But the first song he showed me was called Feel Something. Feel Something is a crossover song from 3 different artists. It's Illenium, I Prevail, and Excision is the third artist. And it's a really awesome song because as a person trying to show another person music, when you ask them, oh, what do you like to listen to? What were you here for? And we were here for Riot Fest 2021. And he goes, oh, well, here's music I like. There's music you like. Let me show you a song that bridges the gap. And it was really good because the song called Feel Something from Millennium had I Prevail as the lead singer. And it's a really, really good crossover. And that was my first foray into Illenium's music. And I will say this, I wish Illenium had more faster beat music. Because he plays a lot of slow stuff, and it's not my speed. Subtle plug to my other internet handles. If you know them, represent. If you don't, but either way, it's actually really funny because I've actually heard of Illenium before. I just didn't know it.
Really?
Yeah. So I work in retail, first off, and one of the things I do is I sell electronics. I sell sound bars every now and then, and they have demo music on it.
No way.
No way. So who would have thought that if you could hear a sound bar, you would buy a sound bar? Yeah, who would have thought that there were demos on a sound bar? I was listening through a lot of Illenium's music library, and I was in my car and like driving to work, and I'm just like, that song. I typically listen for like a minute and a half, and if I don't hear anything that I like in a minute and a half, I'll skip to the next song, which I feel like is a good balance.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to, like, if you really don't like a song, you don't want to suffer through, like, the whole 3.5 minutes. Just give it a minute and a half. That's good enough for me.
Yeah, I would say I generally know if I like a song or not within the first 30 seconds. Because if they haven't gotten to something good by that time, I'm never going to want to listen to it again.
I agree, but I raise you. My favorite band in this world, COVID and Capitalism, they spend a solid 3 minutes doing weird shit, and then they have an amazing 6-minute song. I'm sorry, Coheed and Cambria.
I know, I heard you say that, and I was waiting for you to.
Yeah, I at this point, it's a running joke where I just fuck their name up on purpose, kind of like Benedict Cumberbatch.
I love it. Yeah.
Or I'm
Come a bunch.
Yeah, or Eggs Benedict Cucumber Arnold. Yeah.
What? Cucumber Arnold? What the fuck?
A Cucumber Arnold is a drink you have when you have Eggs Benedict. Like, obviously,
God.
come on, man.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I totally forgot.
Yeah, obviously, because Cucumber Arnold is a drink that everyone knows,
Yeah,
obviously.
Come on, it's cucumbers in your ass.
Though,
No, what?
I do want to say, actually, though, on the note of Coheed and Cambria, I would say the 30-second rule actually doesn't apply for Coheed for me. I really enjoy a lot of their music, and the original intro doesn't really play into the song as much as other songs do.
And I second that. I just have such a hard time showing Coheed music to other people because they do that. They'll play like a solid like 30 to 40 seconds of like something random of like a child laughing or like really sweet piano music that doesn't have anything to do with the song that they're about to play. And it's so hard for me to show their music to other people. And I really wish that Coheed would have a show like every 3 months here in town. That way I could be like, okay, you don't like it, I'll buy you a ticket. Like, I'm going to force you to watch this.
Well, and I think I would almost raise you that Coheed songs, that intro doesn't necessarily feel attached in that it carries through the whole song. And so I can understand listening to it a little bit more because it's not part of something. So if that intro piece carried through the whole music, I would maybe have a harder time with it. But it feels separate, and it's a lot more digestible in that regard.
I'd give that 100%. Solid truth. Truth. Hashtag truth. Little lost on the sauce on that rabbit hole there. Back to the topic. I've heard Millennium's music before unknowingly. There's a song called Good Things Fall Apart, which if you haven't heard it, it's a really good song. But they play it on the Vizio soundbar demo for their 2.1, their 5.1, and their 5.1.2 soundbars. Definitely check out that song if you're more of a dubstep EDM person. If you're more of a rocker person, do check out Feel Something by Millennium. Really good songs. But like, this is why I like Ubers, is because you get a real person. You're not just getting a driver. Like when you get a taxi, you're getting a driver. When you get a bus driver, you're getting a driver. Getting a train ride, you're getting a driver. You're not getting a person. And that's the most amazing experience about an Uber, is you're getting a person. And there are many experiences that they could teach you, and then you can talk with them and be like, and yes, cabbies, which might be a derogatory term, I'm not sure, taxi drivers, they 100% probably know the roads way better than any Uber driver ever would. But out of most of my taxi experiences, they're just like, I'm going to get you A to B. I'm not going to talk to you.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. They're not really in it for the conversation. They're more in it like, A to B, get out of my car.
Yeah.
I got to get the next person.
Yeah, get my next fare, get my next tip.
Yep.
Like, mom.
Thanks for the $2. See you later.
Yeah, exactly. This is the time to get more drinks or anything else you need. If anyone's going downstairs, I would like another drink,
I'll
please.
get you.
And more ice, please.
Wow, asking for ice.
Bougie.
He had to come back. He had to come back.
So I'm not a person who likes ice in their drink.
He's on his way.
And at this point, I'm going to leave this little bathroom break, at least this part of it. Because I need to explain something since I got called the fuck out.
Let's sit down. Hang on.
So, if ZJ ever buys a margarita, it is not, what's the word?
You got frozen.
It's not frozen, because I hate ice. You hear this? Yeah, I hope you do. Or I hope you don't, actually, because there's nothing in my cup. So if I'm going to be sipping on a drink, I would like it cold. I don't want to drink room temperature or something. I have water bottles in my room specifically for that. If I want room temperature, I'll drink some room temperature water. If I'm going to enjoy something, I do want it chilled. So I have a straw. There's a straw here. The straw prevents the ice from getting into my mouth. I don't like ice in my mouth. That's why I don't drink frozen margaritas. I drink iced, mixed, shaken margaritas. I don't do ice. There's a straw here, okay?
You don't like the delicious, crunchy, wunchy rice?
If I wanted to chew my drink,
Ice.
I would drink rice pudding.
Oh.
I don't drink rice pudding because I don't want to chew my drink.
Crunchy, runchy ice.
Should probably drink orange juice with pulp.
Okay.
Tangent 2.
Tangent 2. Let's stir this sauce pot a little bit more, right? I despise pulp in my drinks. Just even regular orange juice. Champagne and orange juice was called mimosa.
Mimosa,
Yeah. Oh man, if you are a terrible person and you serve a mimosa with pulp, tell me your name so I can write you in a death note because you're a terrible person.
He's like white knuckling a fist right now. He's so mad. I love it. He's just
Real passionate about what goes
fucking
into my
hate
mouth.
pulp.
Real passionate about what goes into my mouth, okay?
Yes, you are.
Yes.
You are.
Real picky. It has to be really aesthetically pleasing. So, pulp. I don't even like pineapple juice with pulp. Like, which is crazy because like you don't really get to pick and choose your pineapple juice. You kind of be like, you buy pineapple juice and that's what it is. I'll filter that shit in a heartbeat. I'm not even kidding. Like cheesecloth, like in a strainer.
Dang.
Yeah, I despise pulp to like the nth degree. And when I say nth, I mean infinite degree.
Yeah. What about coconut in your coconut?
I don't drink coconut at all. So
Oh.
coconut water /
I like
coconut
coconut
byproduct
water.
gives me headaches, so I don't
Oh,
drink it.
fair.
Or eat it.
Why does it give you a headache?
I'm not entirely sure. It's probably an allergy issue.
Interesting.
I used to get the pulp like the extra pulp orange juice, let it all settle on top, so I could have one glass with just all the pulp.
Oh my god.
Thinking about how much I would hate that makes me laugh so hard.
I've always wanted to try like to get like the extra pulp, where they put some of the extra pulp in there and strain it all and eat the pulp with a spoon.
I could do that.
I think that sounds good. I think that sounds good to me.
I know, Derek.
He's yelling at us from his bathroom break. He's going, "You guys suck."
So let's get on to the main point. Riot Fest 2021, Chicago, Illinois. Obviously, there was a lot of bands there. If you haven't seen the full lineup, we'll talk about a decent amount of them. But if you haven't seen the full lineup, by all means, do some private research. What's it called? Self-study. Yeah. Do some self-study. Find the bands that were there. But a couple contexts that I want to get into for at least the rest of this conversation is Hunter, Conrad, Acetylene. What are an artist or artists that you went into blind and actually liked?
Yeah, we were all experiencing on Sunday The Ghost Inside, and I really enjoyed their energy playing and a lot of the music actually as well, which was great because I had no intention of going to that band really. It was kind of a rest period for us, so being able to hear that was just awesome. I love exploring new bands, and that was a great one to see.
What's that one dude?
Who sucked?
Yeah.
His something.
Kenny Hoopla.
Hoopla, yeah.
Hoopla. Oh god. I wish I'd been able to go to 303. I funked up. Oh god, I hate that. It's a fucking Febreze commercial.
Yeah.
They made a whole ass song.
We'll get to Kenny Hoopla here in a bit.
Yeah, but say as well. Fever 333 or 333. No idea how the preference goes on that one.
It could be 666 over 2. Like, we don't really know.
Yeah. But they were great as well. I really appreciate high energy when I'm going to see people live, because I think that's really when it becomes worth it, because you feel that as a crowd goer.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And high energy is way more fun to, jump with or like clap your hands along with, as opposed to just being like swaying. Swaying is a sea of trees amongst an ocean of bodies. Like, that's not fun for me. Like, I want to be able to jump. I want to be able to clap. I want to crowd surf, which happened the first time here in Chicago on Simple Plan. Like, I want to be able to do these things and feel these things, and I want to feel the bass against my body. I want to feel the other people. Like, I don't mosh anymore because the last time I went moshing, I lost a bit of my tooth, so I don't mosh anymore. But, like, I want to be able to watch the mosh, and, like, that's what I love is the energy.
Mm-hmm. It's truly contagious, and feeling that between other people that you're surrounded by, it's just invigorating.
I definitely have to agree. Speaking of invigorating, we actually walked in on this concert on, I want to say it was Friday. So we came in on Friday and walked in mid-show, and it was very surprising for me because I really enjoyed what was happening. And I can't seem to get their name down right. I would keep wanting to call her Meg Ryan, and I know that's not right because she's an actress with Tom Hanks in, was that movie You Got Mail?
Yeah, I think so.
I fucking love that movie, by the way. But it's not her name. What's it called?
It's Meg Myers.
Yeah, Meg Myers. That's the one. And she put on a really great show. And I actually found out today one of my coworkers actually enjoy her too. And they're like, "Oh man, you saw Meg Myers live?" And I was like, "Yeah, man. I had no idea who the hell she was, but she puts on a great show."
Yes, I actually love being able, when you go to a concert, to say, "Hey, I saw this," and somebody lights up and goes, "Oh my goodness, I love that band," which I think you experienced a little bit when we saw Mother Mother, and you knew someone that liked Mother Mother without kind of knowing.
Yeah, that's actually hilarious that you brought that up because I quote unquote call myself pretty decent friends with this person, pretty good friends with this person, and we're at the show watching Mother Mother live, and I'm like, man, I have no knowledge of this band. I have no idea what the fuck's happening. And they're like, "Oh, well, TikTok really blew up with this one song called Hayloft." And I was like, okay, well, I have no idea. I have no knowledge. But so we finished watching this show, and like in their encore song, which was Hayloft, which is their TikTok song, y'all turned to me, Hunter and Connor respectively, and they're like, "Hey, you should tell my friend Donald that you're watching this band." And I was like, "Oh, does he like them?" And they're like, "Dude, he loves them."
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, well, I guess I'm a bad friend then, because I clearly didn't know that.
Oh shit.
Well, I actually wouldn't have known either if I hadn't have brought up that I was listening to a Mother Mother song. Actually was going to use one of their songs in our wedding, and I brought it up to Donald, and he said, oh my gosh, you listen to Mother Mother, and that's how I found out.
Hacks.
Marriage hacks.
Marriage hacks. Like, yeah, I can bring up, yeah, that was the song I was going to use in my wedding, because guess what? I'm single. Ladies. All the single ladies, I am a single guy.
Put your hands up.
Moving a little bit forward, how about bands that you've heard before, but you've never seen them live, or maybe you've seen a performance of them live? Were there any whose stage presence or charisma kind of charmed their ways or wormed their ways into your hearts?
This is actually the first like major concert that I've ever been to, and so every band that I saw was like my first time really seeing a band like live, which has been fantastic.
But I'm sure you've seen maybe like some live performances on like the internet or something, right?
I don't really like live performances unless it's recorded by the band. So I usually don't even like, because if it's recorded from the crowd, right? Obviously, I'm not talking like from a phone. Obviously, those are terrible. But if it's recorded, even then, it's still hard for me to watch. But I really was able to enjoy myself, and part of that was the experience of being in the crowd. I didn't think I was going to enjoy that aspect of it as much as I did. But being in the crowd with Simple Plan, which is kind of where I was in the thick of it, we were really, really close to the stage. That was super cool. And I got to watch a bunch of people get crowd surfed to the front of the stage, including our very own.
I was going to get there at some point, but thank you for bringing that up. My first time in my life being crowd surfed. I'm not a very big-bodied person, but the very first time in my life ever being crowd surfed was during Simple Plan, and it was an amazing experience. For those of you who are hesitant to be surfed, trust me, it's very respectful, like everyone's really sure. And they almost actually dropped me, which is the kind of the scary part. And the only reason it happened was because there was another person crowd surfing in my same exact path. So everyone was making sure that that person who was in front of me was taken care of. So like my torso got dropped technically, but everyone had my legs and they're like, get him up, get him up, get him up, get him up. And then like as soon as people were aware, because they were saying like get him up repeatedly, that something was happening, they got me up and they finished surfing me to the front. Really awesome experience. If you haven't crowd surfed, please do. It's actually really awesome. But make sure you have a phone and film it, because nobody believes me. There's this really shitty video on YouTube about people filming that song, and I'll get to that when we talk about Simple Plan. And you can see like my butt.
The most important part to see.
Yeah. And then like at the very tail end of the video, you can see with the part where like they drop my torso and my feet are in the air and the video clips off. If you ever do decide to crowd surf, get yourself a GoPro or get yourself just record yourself doing it, because nobody's gonna believe you until there's video, and at least there's a modicum of evidence that I've done this. And then also when we get to Simple Plan, I'll talk about like the best shout out ever. Going back, Lost in the Sauce, sorry about that everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got something to talk about.
I just want to say, every band, I was very lucky, I feel. Every band I was really excited to see put on a great show. And I don't have the best band knowledge, so going into it, I was going in a little blind. So I was very pleasantly surprised with the stage presence of Motion City soundtrack. Simple Plan was amazing, as we've talked a little bit about. I saw my first Coheed show, and that was just incredible. There was so many bands, it was just hit after hit. That just had great stage presence, great energy. I always prefer when bands actually introduce the songs that they're singing, so if I don't know something, I can go back and look it up, and there were several bands that did that, and I really appreciated that. I know for ZJ there was, I think, at least one instance where it wasn't exactly what you thought it would be.
Yeah, I was actually going to bring that up currently. Were there any bands whom you liked until you heard them live?
I think you have a more apt story about this.
I mean, I was going to ask you guys first, and then I was going to go into my very quick diatribe.
I can cut in a little bit here. So, actually, I think Mother Mother was not the best live. I think their vocals were a little shaky, and I don't know if that was nerves or if it was skill or if it was hot. There's a lot of factors that go into it, but they were a little off. The Ghost Inside had great kind of screaming vocals, but the actual singer, a little off. So there was some instances of that where I was a little disappointed. I felt like it could be a little bit better, but for the most part, I was pretty good on my end.
What about Kenny Hoopla, though?
Kenny Hoopla was trash.
Kenny Hoopla.
Yeah, Hoopla at this point. Okay, so real quick side tangent, or actually topical tangent. I didn't know Kenny Hoopla before going to see Riot Fest, and then I saw Kenny Hoopla, and not only was this dude late to his own show, he was also fucked out of his mind.
Oh my god.
Like, he was super drunk, and you could tell the way he was talking, the way he was singing, and like his DJ, like respect to his DJ, his music backup, like he so we're rocking across the campgrounds, I guess would be the best way to say it. And then we hear Mr. Brightside playing.
Right.
And we're like, oh shit, is somebody covering Mr. Brightside? And we're like, yeah, we're getting into it because, it like fades in with the bum 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 bum. And we're like, oh fuck yeah, like let's get into this. Like we're all bopping our heads and we're like singing along. And I'm like, I don't think this is a cover. I think somebody is legitimately playing an album version of The Killer's Mr. Brightside.
Yeah.
And that's 100% what's happening.
Exactly.
And I was like, oh, there's a DJ playing? Like, that's kind of weird. And then we checked the schedule, and it's like Kenny Hoopla. And we're like, oh, I guess that's the DJ's name. And then, like, as soon as we make this discovery, like, oh, I guess Kenny Hoopla's a DJ, the DJ goes, all right, guys, we got Kenny Hoopla coming on next. Like, he legitimately says this out loud. Mm-hmm. And we're just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, we lose our goddamn minds because we're like, okay, well, this isn't Kenny Hoopla. His time slot's already like 5 minutes past.
Oh, 100%.
We heard a Killers on the main stage and the crowd is going fucking nuts. And I'm like, okay, well, if this is not Kenny Hoopla, but all he does is DJ music that we all love, I'm going to absolutely lose my friggin' mind. And it's going to be a great show.
Hell yeah. I'm down with that.
That's not what happened.
No.
Yeah.
Sad.
So this guy comes out, Kenny Hoopla, and I'm pretty sure he was so drunk that he forgot he was performing because I didn't understand a single lyric that he said. It was all slurred.
Well, that was only on the lyrics that he remembered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was at least one moment where there was definitely a pause in music, and there was supposed to be some words there. You could tell, and even he could tell because he apologized to the crowd for his poor performance.
Yeah.
Yeah, he knew.
And man, it's so unfortunate because like I've been there before where like I've gotten super toasted and then I'm just like lose my fucking mind and I don't know where the hell I'm at. But I feel like as a performer, as an artist, like there's a certain baseline of like you have a show, you're here to perform for your fans. You need to take care of business.
Yeah. I mean, you're at work, essentially.
Yeah, essentially, you're at work.
You don't want to be drunk at work. You don't. Well, I mean, especially if you're trying to perform to a crowd.
Fair.
You don't necessarily. That's not necessarily.
I always want to be drunk at work.
I would say that this especially seems like an event where you would want to kind of keep yourself in check, because for a lot of people, this was their first concert back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, especially because now that you brought that up, a lot of bands were like, this is our 566th, this is our 632nd, like some really big numbers that were 500 plus. Like these are X amount of days from our last show, and this is their first time back, and like you don't want to fuck that up if it's especially if it's your first time back.
Yeah, it's also kind of about respecting the time slot. I mean, I'm sure it's a very coveted slot to get into Riot Fest in the first place. And for him to get into Riot Fest and then go, you know what, I'm just going to get absolutely tossed and not show up on time and put a shit performance out. It's just disrespectful.
Yeah, I'd have to agree that.
Did do a sweet backflip, though.
Oh, yeah. He did a sweet backflip. I think it would have been sweeter if he had face planted, though, to be honest. Also, Kenny Hoopla, if you're listening to this, dude, that show sucked, man. I'm sorry, but that show sucked.
But kudos to your DJ.
Yeah, your DJ was fantastic. At the end of the show, he's piping in crowd cheering and all this.
Yeah, I do want to say that none of the bands I knew about going into the show changed my mind until Circus Survive.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm going to say on that. But on the flip side, there were a lot of bands that I did like going into the fest who I had not seen live. And I was hella pleased with their performance, like super happy with everything they did. You know, just to name a few of the couple that I went into blind, even though I'd listened to their music before. As we talked about, Motion City Soundtrack had a great performance, even with their little asthma shout out was super cute.
Yeah, I loved that. I thought it was great that the crowd was so supportive. The main singer, the lead singer, has asthma, as some of you may or may not know, and he had to keep his inhaler on him so that he could perform at his best. And I really appreciated that he wanted to perform at his best, and the crowd was very supportive of that decision. I thought it was super funny when he was like, "I got asthma, guys," and everyone started cheering, and he goes, "It's cool that you guys like asthma so much, but..."
It's like, but anyways, we're going to go into the next song. Mighty Mighty Bosstones, who I had known for a long time. I actually like to claim that I'm from Boston, and Mighty Mighty Bosstones are from Boston. I like to claim that I'm from there because I used to grow up there. I lived on the military base there in Boston, Massachusetts. But I had heard about them, and I had loved them, and their ska music, which is kind of weird for me because I'm typically like more of a hard rock or pop punk or a little bit harder music than that typical ska music performs. But the Digimon movie actually has their Impression That I Get is on the soundtrack, and it's really, really great. It's a really great scene too. So I'd never seen them live, and it was really awesome to get to see Mighty Mighty Bosstones live, and they only grew my love for them because it was such a great performance. And I love when bands sound like album worthy live.
Oh yeah.
Because then it's like, okay, yeah, you're not auto-tuning your shit. Like, this is how you sound.
It takes such a high level of skill to sound album ready on stage, because there's a lot of other factors that you don't have when you're in a sound booth recording. And
Yeah, like wind.
Yeah, high respect. You know, even just jumping around or dancing or moving more than you would if you were in a recording studio, it all makes it a little bit harder. So when people come out and they just sound crisp and clean, it's just, I have such a high level of respect for the work that they've put in to get there.
I'd have to agree. Another one that I heard before but never seen live was Mayday Parade. They put on an amazing show. Mm-hmm. And the craziest part was the fans are so supportive of like everything that Mayday Parade does. And I even I was wearing a Coheed hat that show, and like somebody taps me on the shoulder and like, "Hey man, you like Coheed?" Like mid show, and I'm like, "Yo man, I'm trying to enjoy the show." And they're like, it was this really, she's probably fucked out of her mind, like drunk as hell. And she's like, yeah, most people were, but she's like, "Oh man, I think I saw you at the Coheed show." And I was like, probably, because I was like amped out of my mind. And she was like, "Man, I love you. I love your energy. Like your guys," because Hunter was with me. She's like, "I love your guys' energy." And it was just so funny that like this one person perfectly embodied a Mayday Parade fan. Mm-hmm. It's just such a super supportive and like a love your love type of person, and just a really happy person, even though Mayday Parade sings like a bunch of sad shit, but it's all about love. So yeah. And now on to the meat and potatoes of this particular topic, the secret of all sauces that we've already talked about before. Simple Plan.
Oh yeah.
I do want to say that like there was a small decompression period after we had all watched Simple Plan, and Hunter went to go get food, and I'm sitting here with Conrad, and I should have turned to him like, "Man, the last song they played was perfect, right?"
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
the last song they played was perfect. And I was like, "Man, I really want to call my dad," because like the whole premise of the song, like the first opening lyric is, "Hey dad, look at me, think back and talk to me, did I grow up according to plan?" And like growing up, I had a lot of misguided angst towards my father for no reason whatsoever. Like he was doing what he needed to do to support the family, and like I didn't understand the way that he loved, and like it took a while to learn that shit. And like after the concert, I was like, man, and I'm telling Conrad this, and like mind you, I'm also fucked out of my mind at this point. I'm like 7 drinks in, and I'm like, man, I want to call my dad. And so I call him, and Conrad's just chilling next to me, and he's like, "Yeah, man, good. Yeah, man. So I support you like 100%. Like, do what you gotta do." And he doesn't answer. I was like, this is probably for the best. Then he calls back. And I'm like, I'm not going to answer this. Because, like, this
Time's
is...
passed.
It's, yeah, time's passed. I'm not in the moment anymore. Like, I'm good.
I've done my due diligence.
I was like, I was in the moment. You didn't answer. Fuck you. But Simple Plan had such an amazing show. And for those of you who don't know, Simple Plan did the...
What's New Scooby-Doo?
Yeah, What's New Scooby-Doo intro for that show. And I actually wore a Scooby-Doo shirt for that concert because I was like, I swear to God, if they play this show. And I even told Connor, I was like, hey, if they play this song, please take care of our bags. I'm going to fight my way to the front.
Oh, yeah.
And he did.
And I did. 100% did. So, like, the guitarist was like, boom, 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 which is the opening chord or chords for that song. It's like, oh my God, they're going to play it. They're going to play it. So I was like, Connor, take care of the bags. And I start fighting my way to the front, which is funny because, like, after the fact, I heard that Hunter turns to me and I'm gone. And I'm just straight up gone.
I looked in that second that they started playing. I looked and he was already off to the races, clawing his way to the front.
And I didn't even get to the front. I get like a decent amount in. Like I'm a solid maybe 20 feet away from the front. And I'm like, I can't get up there. It's too packed. And I turn to like two really tall dudes and I'm like, hey, can you surf me? And they're like, they look at me and they're like, yeah. And so, like, I basically T-pose, what's it called? Like,
T-pose.
Yeah, T-pose. Yeah. I basically T-pose, and then they, like, heft me up like I'm on the Titanic, and then I'm off to the races. I'm surfing.
Heck yeah.
And
is that how you start surfing?
You ask two burly men to surf you? Yes, that's, like, 100% how you get surfed.
Dope. It's okay, so, for some reason, I'm sorry to cut into your story. For some reason, in my unknowing mind, I was like, that has to be just random. Like, they just, like, get so hyped that they just take the person next to them, they're just like, yeet! Right into the sky, and then everyone's just cool with it.
No, actually, that's one of the coolest things about, like, good moshing, is everyone is super respectful. Like, they're not gonna touch you if you don't want to be touched. And, like, if you make your boundaries known, that's what I love about the music scene is, like, you will be protected. You will be 100% allowed to do what you want to do, and no one's gonna fuck with you. Yeah. Like, and that's another thing I want to talk about is, like, there were so many women dressed to the nines, like, wearing combat boots and, like, really nice stilettos and, like, wearing their garters, whatever the fuck it's called, wearing their bustiers, garters and bustiers, wearing everything that they wanted to wear, and no one's gonna rape them, because, like, in the music scene at least, empower yourself, do what makes you feel good. Yeah. And that's what I love about live music is it's just people doing things that make them happy. Hunter specifically looked amazing. If there's not any pictures of what she looked like, she was a fucking Elvira, bitch, you better run for your money because we got a new girl here.
She was smoking.
I appreciate it, guys.
If she was in Devil May Cry, she'd be a triple S. Super sexy style.
Oh my God.
Yes, absolutely.
It was a lot of fun to get to dress up like that, and what ZJ is saying is true. Everyone was so kind, and I got compliments and on my outfits, but never in a creepy or skeevy way, which was great. It was a very comfortable place to be.
And then circling back to getting surfed, it's like, if you don't want to be touched, if you don't want to be anything, people will 100% respect your boundaries. There are people on blankets laying down, and everyone gave them a decent amount of, like, area. That way they weren't going to get stepped on. Even if they were semi-close to the front, people were like, oh, there's a person here camped out. Like, we'll give them their space. And actually, Hunter and I experienced it when we went to go see Thrice, who was there as well. We were camped out pretty close to the stage. Yeah. And, you know, everyone stood up. Everyone started crowding around. And, like, we were just like, we're here for the music. We're not here to, like, get amped. And people gave us a wide berth. Like, they were just like, nah, man, these guys are here. We're not going to, like, get close to them. We're not going to step on them. When we start getting amped, we're not going to anything. And it's a really fun experience. So if you've never gone to a live show, you 100% should go see a live show.
Especially if it's multiple bands. I think that's the best.
Yeah, agreed.
The best way to do it.
I 100% agree. Like, if it's definitely multiple bands, particularly ones that you're interested in, not even like,
fair.
Let's say there's one band that you 100% love, and there are bands that you're interested in opening up for them. Because I would say at minimum 3 bands. At minimum 3 bands that you're interested in you should go see that show. Because most recently, before Riot Fest, I went to go see Coheed live, Coheed and Cambria, and I had never seen Taking Back Sunday live. I'd never seen Thrice live. I'd never seen They had another person open for them, but like of the 4 bands that were there, I was like, okay, yeah, I want to see Coheed, I want to see TBS, and I want to see Thrice. It was an amazing show. I get a lot of flack for that show because that was the show that I dipped out on the encore.
Yeah.
But I had seen Coheed so much, like at that point, it's okay. I've earned my way to dip out on the encore.
Yep.
Seen enough encores at that point.
Yeah. But finalizing the topic about getting surfed and that whole thing, I was wearing a Scooby-Doo shirt and I got surfed all the way to the front. And if you've never been surfed, here's what happens is people push you to the front where security is at. And there's a decent like area in between security and the stage. So when you get surfed to the front, security takes you down and they go, okay, exit here, stage right, or stage left, depending. But it was stage right at Riot Fest. So as I'm walking exit stage right, the song ends and the lead singer is decompressing after the song, like, oh my god, that was so much fun, like, thank you guys so much, blah blah blah. And at this point I'm exiting stage right and I'm doing my best to not like scream at him, but I'm pointing, gesturing madly to my shirt. And then he sees my like wild hands and he looks and then he shouts out, he's like, Mystery Machine, nice. And I was like, ooh. I wanted 2 compliments on this shirt, and that 100% takes the cake. It is the first compliment I've gotten all day. Thank the fucking Lord, because that is the best compliment I've ever gotten.
You got a double whammy. You got the crowd surf experience, and you got the stage shout-out experience.
Yes.
That's awesome.
It was amazing. So, as I'm working my way back to where we had decided to stand for the show, I get another shout out and it's like, oh man, Scooby-Doo, nice shirt. And I was like, hey, not as good as the stage, but that's my 2. And I specifically made a point. I was like, I want at least 2, hey man, nice shirt for this show. And I got 2. And one of them was from the lead singer of Simple Plan. And I was like, hell yes.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, you really went for the gold with that first one. you raised the bar.
Yeah, at that
so
point, any other shout out was just like, meh.
Yeah.
Like, you hit my quota, thank you, but fuck you. Oh man, that is so good. But I do want to say, if I can please get a round of applause for Common Conrad here, because he does have some auditory sensory issues, so it's very hard for him to see live bands, and it's actually very hard for him to go to a live performance because, you know, just he actually had to wear earplugs at this point to go to the show to see Simple Plan because he does have auditory sensory issues.
So my ears are little baby sensitive ears.
Yeah, but you know, again, a little round of applause. But all in all, man, like I'm really glad you were there, 100%. Like in all, I'm really glad that you were there.
I only went one day, but it was honestly the day that I cared about the most, and I fucking made it. And then I was even with my little earplugs. I was able to actually enjoy myself really close to the stage on Simple Plan, and actually standing pretty far back with Mother was pretty nice too. Because I know I enjoy Mother, but I'm not as big a fan of Mother as I am of. So it wasn't as important for me to get close to that stage, which was just crowded as fuck anyway. So that wouldn't have been fun anyway, but. I mean, honestly, it was a good experience, and I think I'd definitely go again.
Fantastic. I'm really glad to hear that.
100%.
Yeah, we were happy to be able to be there for your first big concert experience.
Honestly, yeah, that's a huge, like, friendo stamp in the book.
Yeah.
Because for those of you who don't know, Hunter Hoel and Common Conrad are a beautiful married couple. Mm-hmm. And I was actually the best man to the wedding.
Yeah.
So being able to be like even further, like put my like stamp on this beautiful relationship that they have here and be like, oh man, I was there for Conrad's first show. Like, man, that's fucking awesome. And as his best man, like I would want to be that kind of friend to be like, hey man, things you've never done before, let me do them with you. Even after you're married, like even before, even after. And, you know, hopefully we have a great friendship and a great relationship going forward.
Oh yeah,
and,
we're gonna do this
with both of you.
Or both in our 80s.
Hey man, did you hear?
What?
The new Coheed and Cambria, their sons, they're playing a show.
Great grandson.
Yes, we're gonna go. Get your scooter, because we're gonna go.
I should leave my
Hearing aid.
hearing aids home.
Yes, it'll be loud enough. We'll be okay.
Feel it in my bones.
Stupid.
Feel it in the
Stupid.
back of my brain.
Oh man, but no, we really appreciate you having you as a friend, ZJ. You've been there for a lot of our lives at this point. We've known you for longer than I always think we have.
Yeah, it's
Feels like
honestly crazy.
Just flown by.
Well, it's been like
5,000.
Before the dawn of time, there has only been one friendship recorded. Jesus and God? No. Acetylene and ZJ.
Yes.
in the land before time.
Well, motherfucking star trees.
Oh my god. Those look so tasty.
I'm not a vegan.
Oh, neither am I.
Yeah, you do love that sausage.
Oh god.
With mustard, it's gotta have.
Oh
mustard.
my god, yes,
Don't
that is a
forget the
great story.
bulky
Yes,
mustard.
that is a great story. We didn't even talk about that. Yes, please do.
No.
Which one?
The sausage and mustard. The corn dog.
With the corn
No?
dog.
Okay, I'll go into it.
Go into it.
So,
Okay, hang on. No, I got it. So my wonderful wife, Hunter, goes to get both of us footlong corn dogs.
You have to.
Right, because footlong corn dog. So she comes back, and she has given... She comes back with not plates, because they don't have plates. They're just wrapped in, like, one piece of wax paper. So mine had some ketchup on it. It was like a reasonable amount of ketchup. I was like, you know what? This is a perfect amount of ketchup. I can cover the whole hot dog with it, or the whole corn dog with it, and still have some to dip when I take bites. And then I look over at hers. It is completely full of mustard to the brim. There is so much mustard, and every bite is just a whole giant tablespoon and a half of mustard right on top.
not only
Every
that,
single bite.
the entire wax paper was painted yellow.
Yes.
Like, Coldplay was like, saw that wax paper
Oh my
and
God.
made the song yellow,
Stupid.
looking at that
was
wax
the
paper.
inspiration.
Yes.
On yellow. God damn.
What can I say? I like mustard.
She's a mustard lady.
I don't know what to tell you. I just said the other day, if I had to get rid of every condiment except one, I would choose mustard.
Mm-hmm.
It is my favorite.
I would choose mayonnaise.
I would choose salt.
Is that a condiment?
It's not, but it will be now.
I dip my corn dogs in salt.
Dude, I am the Sultan of Salt. I love salt so
Ooh, the
much.
Sultan of Salt. I love that.
Yes.
It's good.
You truly are, though.
I truly am, though.
It's just salty.
I am the saltiest dog. Actually, it's funny because I was playing this game with Ryan O, and he was like, "Oh, let's build a clan." It's like, okay, what are we gonna call it? The Salty Dogs.
Oh, love it. Perfect name.
Perfect name.
Perfect
Hell
name.
yes.
Anyway, a little rabbit hole there, a little lost in the sauce. I'm sure it comes at no surprise to anyone when I say that cobalt and calcium, COVID and quarantine, COVID and Cambria always delivers an amazing performance. And I'm glad they didn't just play songs of their new album, which I 100% expected them to do. And I even put a bet out there. I was like, I guarantee you they're going to open up with Prologue and Dark Senator. And I was like, I guarantee you need to listen to this song, because I even told Hunter, I was like, this is the only song you need to know, because this is the song they're going to open up with. And they didn't fucking do it.
Yep. The second that I heard the opening notes, I turned to ZJ and I went, give him a look.
She just looked at me and just shook her head. And I was like, yeah, my bad. But they opened up with Innkeeping, which is a song that I did not expect them to open with. It is a great live song because there's a lot of crowd parts, and like Conrad and I talked earlier, like crowd parts are like the intrinsic value of a live show.
Oh, yeah. The crowd participation is just fucking key to sell that experience. It's awesome.
And they played a solid variety after the 9 studio albums. The crowd chants, the crowd inserts, the crowd participation, like you were saying, just so awesome to get to. I feel like I personally overwhelmed Hunter because it was her first Coheed show, and like I'm here like shouting in her ear to every song lyric, every fucking thing, and I'm just like, just going off.
Not overwhelming. Very exciting. I was actually going to say ZJ is the best person to go see a Coheed show with because you will feel so energized, so in the moment. And watching someone that's passionate about their music, like ZJ is, and singing it and seeing the expression on their faces, it's palpable. You can feel the energy, and to the point where other people noticed and tapped you on the shoulder.
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
A little weird, but you have good presence, stage presence in the crowd.
Oh, I knew I've had great stage presence. You just come see me sing karaoke. Like, I sing amazing.
A sight to behold.
Well, I'm glad that you brought that up. So, like, the first couple of songs off of Coheed go through, and then I'm singing them, like, word for word, just, like, amping up, and, like, anytime the crowd parts happen, I'm singing them, and other people around me are like, oh, that's what we're supposed to say. And then, like, the next time that crowd part comes on, they know what to say because, like, they heard it. And I get tapped on the shoulder after, like, 2 songs. And I just kind of brush it off like, oh, shit, you're just being, like, real obnoxious. And I'm like, oh, my bad. So, like, I kind of, like, like, oh, shit. Like, all right, yeah, my bad. And then, I let a whole song go by, just still kind of singing the words, but not being nearly as excited or nearly as amped. And I'm just like, fuck it, man. Like, what I'm here for is the experience. Like, I don't care about other people. Fuck them. Yeah. So, like, I go back into it. And then after I get back into it, the guy who tapped me on the shoulder, he comes back around and he taps me again. He's like, hey, man, this is your favorite band, isn't it? And I was like, yeah, man, it really is. And like, he tapped me on the shoulder not to be like, hey, man, you're being too much. He tapped me on the shoulder to be like, hey, man, I fucking love your energy. And I didn't understand that initially. And I'm really excited as a fan to be appreciated for my love. Because when somebody else loves your love, it's so awesome. It's really an awesome experience.
Yeah. It's like, when someone gets excited for your excitement, it feels so validating. You're like, hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Honestly, hell yeah. If you've never seen that hell yeah banana bread thing, do look into it. Just Google hell yeah banana bread. It's fucking hilarious.
Dude, I got some fucking banana bread at work today, dude. Hell yeah.
But yeah, honestly, that was all I really wanted to go into about Riot Fest. Did y'all have any other things you wanted to talk about it? I know I said it was going to be a mini episode, but I feel like we got a decent amount of content out of this.
Yeah, you're going to have to do a lot of editing and working around some of the tangents we went on. But...
No, honestly, I feel like for the most part, y'all were pretty good about staying on target for what we wanted to talk about. Mm-hmm. And honestly, this part's going to be even there in there as well. Normally when I edit, it's a lot of cutting out blank space. And there wasn't really a lot of blank space in between our conversations. Like, we're really good about, here's what I want to talk about. Oh, yeah, now that you brought this up, let's bounce on this. We're really good about it. And I feel like the editing process is just going to be, like, shortening.
Okay, the last thing I will say about Riot Fest in general was that, all in all, amazing experience. The venue being in Chicago was great. It was such an awesome city to be in. And Riot Fest in general was an experience I would not trade for anything because I had so much fun with CJ. I had so much fun with Conrad. It was a great experience for all of us traveling for the first time together. And I had never been to any type of concert with that many bands. And I really, as we had said earlier, think it's an experience that everyone should go to. Or rather, it's something you should see at least once in your life. And just enjoy the people, enjoy the music, enjoy seeing new things. And just having a good time.
On top of that, bring money for merch. Because while the bands didn't have as nearly as good of merch as I'd hoped, there were other vendors there. Particularly a vendor called Mortis Vivendi. They have some really awesome merch. And it's tarot card based, so if you're a big fan of tarot cards or Persona or anything like that, by all means, look into them, Mortis Vivendi. Again, we're not sponsored by any... We're not sponsored by any shop. We're not sponsored by any website. We're not sponsored by anyone. These are just specific things that we like in particular, and I think that other people might like them if you've never heard of them. Mortis Vivendi. Do check them out. Really beautiful artwork. Really awesome stuff. Bring money for merch. Like, the end all be all, bring money for merch.
Yeah. I understand you're going to spend a lot.
Yeah.
Even if you don't intend to spend a lot, it all adds up.
Yeah. Like, even just buying water. $4 water bottles adds up.
Oh, that adds up so fast.
Yeah. Any last tips or tricks for first-time travelers? Any tips or tricks for venue goers?
Bring water and bring hand sanitizer.
I think the venue tip I would say is when eating foods at large vendors, go for the more traditional vendor foods. I did not have great experiences with a lot of the more obscure foods or even things like that.
On top of that, I add on, if you happen to go to a show that has hustlers outside the venue, go through the hustlers.
Oh yeah.
So real quick side tangent, the venue price for a day ticket was 120, 140,
120.
120. The hustlers were selling tickets for like 60. So 100% buy a day ticket for them from the hustlers, because at this point they're just trying to recoup a little bit of their money. They don't care about making a profit. They're just trying to recoup a little bit. And then if you're going into this show, which this is one of the days that I took public transportation to get to the venue, I show up off the train and there's like 6 vendors, hustlers outside the outside the venue as I'm walking up, and the first vendor is like, "Hey man, I got drinks, I got whatever," and I was like, "Nah man, I'm good." And then like I walk by like somebody grilling, and I'm like, "Man, this smells kind of good." And then I walk by the next group, and they're like, "Yo, we've got $5 whole ass chicken stuff," and I was like, "Yeah, that's gonna happen. I want that chicken right now because like, it smells so good." So I eat that, and then I'm like, "Yo, give me some drinks," and like the money I spent was like maybe $15, which was the cost of one drink at Riot Fest.
Oh, yeah.
So if the venue you go to has hustlers, by all means, pre-game, whatever you're going to do, food and drinks. Because if you're going to buy food there, if you're going to buy drinks there, even water, it's very expensive. So by all means, pre-game.
It's always good to support the small vendors as well.
Agreed, 100%. Because like they're making almost pure profit. Whereas like if you support inside of the venue, like they have house fees and rent fees and like all these other fees to support, so like you're only giving them maybe 25% as opposed to giving 100% to the vendors outside. So either way, again, that's pretty much all I want to really talk about our mini episode. I think we got a fair amount of content.
I think we did.
How did y'all enjoy your first time on the Sauce Pop podcast?
It was great.
Fantastic.
Love talking with
I
you.
really enjoyed doing podcasts.
Fantastic. Well, we might have these guys back on again. If you did like them, please give them a listen to. Again, check them out, Common Conrad and hunterhoel on Instagram. Otherwise, this isn't the episode that I was talking about for the Tiny Tina's Wonderlands episode. We're going to do a full ass episode on the next one. It's going to be our 8th episode. This is probably going to be labeled as 7.5. Give us a listen to if we get 25 viewers, or not viewers, listeners at this point, because we don't do any videos because we're ugly as fuck. If we get 25 listeners, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, again, we'll give out a code for a PC download for Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. 25 viewers on our next episode. We will need you to hit us on our Discord, of course. That way you'll get access to that. And then we will do a live stream of the giveaway. Either way, this is ZJ Misadventures here on the Saucepop Podcast Leftovers. I've been gifted with the presence of hunterhoel and Common Conrad. Any last sign-off words, ladies and gentlemen?
Thank you so much for listening, guys. We appreciate it.
Sorry, go ahead.
It's been so much fun being on here.
You are responsible for your own happiness.
That is fair. Get as drunk or as sober as you like. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been ZJ Misadventures on the Saucepop Podcast Leftovers. We're out. Hey guys, I know we just signed out, but Chef One has this really awesome and wholesome story that I really wish he would share with us, and luckily we got him in before the recording went live, or I guess the recording went to podcast. I don't know, but he's here with us to share that story, and it's really awesome, and I'm really excited for y'all to hear it, because I think it's just too good of a story to not be told. So, Chef Buen, lead us in.
Hey, what's up, everybody? ZJ, thanks again for letting me come in and tell this story. I'm glad I get to tell it. I like to get a little bit of internet clout, here and there. Yeah, it's kind of funny that I talk about clout because the artist I actually got to see, he has a song called Cream, which stands for Clout Rules Everything Around Me. So basically what had happened is I got to meet one of my favorite hip-hop artists. His name is Echo. Check him out. He's really cool. He's got a really great vibe, and he's just all about his fans. He's a great guy. But he's got this one song, well, I guess a couple songs, where he has these lines where he talks about how he's always rolling in the same pair of Vans since day one. He's just doing his own thing, and fuck a pair of Yeezys, I'm just rolling his Vans. That's just one of his main lines. And started this whole thing where we associate him with Vans. So at the last couple of shows that he's been doing, people have been throwing their Vans on stage and getting them signed. So I was like, you know what, I want to take it a step further. Let me customize a pair of Vans and give them to him and see what he did. Because I saw him make a comment where he was like, yo, Vans, when am I getting a collab? And I was like, fuck it, I'll do the collab myself. And so I went to the show, night before. I spent, whenever I got home, 5:30 till like 2:30 at night, just drawing on these Vans and making them look fucking perfect. I did fuck up one little part, but we don't talk about that. Did whatever I could, got to the show, and I get up to meet Echo, and he's like, yo, what's up, dude? And I was like, hey, what's up, man? And he's like, cool backpack. And I was like, oh, it's not even mine, it's my buddy's. But it's not about the backpack, it's about what's inside. He's like, oh, yeah? And I was like, yeah, I got something for you. He's like, oh, bet? Like, what you got? And I fucking whip out the Vans, and I'm like, custom Vans. And he's just like, oh my god, dude, like, I'm about to cry right now. And I'm like, dude, I'm about to cry right now. Like, you kidding me? Like, imagine, guys, like, how surreal is it to meet someone who's gotten you through, like, some of your darkest moments, some, like, bad times, some music that's, like, legit just saved you, and you get to meet that person, and they appreciate something that you've done for them, like, and it's like, damn, like, full circle here. And, it was really cool, really wholesome moment. He fucking gave me a big-ass hug, and did, like, a whole, like, video, and, posted on his Instagram and tagged me in, and he was like, yo, what's your Instagram name? And I was like, oh, it's Bwenzilla, spelled it out for him, and he was like, oh, dude, that's a dope name. And I was like, okay, I am never changing my name now, because, like, recently I've been having this whole, like, identity crisis where I wanted to, like, change, like, rebrand, change the Bwenzilla thing, but now I'm like, alright, no, I'm keeping Bwenzilla, that's gonna be my at for forever. And then, partway, like, right at the end of the show, his DJ is talking about, like, oh, man, like, someone, like, need a blunt, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm smoking a blunt. Let me go get this to him. So I'm running up to the front of the stage. I'm pushing people out of the crowd. I'm like, move! I got this. And I'm fucking hand it up there. Echo sees me reaching, and he comes, grabs a blunt, gives it to his homie, and then finally some more people finally start bringing their blunts up too. And then he's like, all right, guys, I want to talk about these shoes I'm wearing. Right before the show, this guy he gave them to me, and I was like, oh, that's me. And he was like, oh yeah, this guy right here, Bwenzilla. And I was like, oh shit, dude, did you say Bwenzilla on stage? Like, got the camera in my face, everyone looking at me, they're all, like, hyping me up. I'm like, this is a moment right here. And then, he starts doing his song where he's like, it's Free Verse 3, guys, by the way, check it out. It's really one of my favorite songs. But yeah, it's got that line where he's like, fuck a pair of Yeezys, I'm trolling in these Vans. And then his manager's, like, grabbing all the Vans on stage. Echo's signing them in his manager's hand. His manager's, like, throwing each shoe, like, back as he's singing. It's a really cool moment. He even posted the shoes again. It was like right like a day or two later on the story. He's like, "Man, I just want to like shout out these shoes again. Like, look at these are fire." And I was like, "Oh, dude, I can't believe you love them so much." Like that made me feel so good. Like, it was really cool. It was a really cool moment, and yeah, probably best night of my life. Honestly, I made some cool friends online. Got to meet my favorite artist. He shouted me out. It was a great moment.
Yeah, man, and I'm really glad you got to share that with the podcast, because when you told me that, I was like, man, that's freaking amazing, and it kind of made me feel a little bad, because I was like, man, I was feeling really good for just getting a hey, nice shirt from the lead singer of Simple Plan.
Sorry.
And then you're just like, yeah, I got a hug and a clout and I got a picture and then all this other shit. And I was like, oh, well, let me just sit over here and twiddle my thumbs.
I'm sorry. I've never had anything like that happen to me, and like I legit wanted to cry when I got home. Like, I was so happy. Like,
yeah, man, I'm glad you got to experience that. And I'm glad you got to share with the podcast. Like I said, all in all, I think it's such a great story, and it needed to be told. Unfortunately, I really wanted you on this little mini episode, but when we had tested it before, for those of you who aren't aware, my new mic setup to way I could have guests here with me live and record doesn't work on the software that we record with.
We have a lot of audio issues, guys. Okay,
yeah, we have a lot of audio issues. We had to record multiple different episodes. We've had to record this actual segment like 3 times already because we're just getting dead space. We record for 20 minutes talking and having a great conversation, and then we go to check the audio and there's nothing there, and we're like, Jesus
I don't even know, man. I can't even tell you why. Like, we're just bad. So if anyone wants to help out, let me know.
Yeah, if anyone's got a better audio recording software, please let us know.
Yeah.
But either way, I'm really glad you could share that with us, and
yeah, no, I appreciate.
Go ahead and sign out at the end of this mini episode that turned into a long as hell episode.
Yeah, just like the normal ones, we get lost in the sauce, but that's how we do it. The sauce. That's
how we do.
But yeah, no, I really appreciate you having me on. Let me tell my story. Getting that clout. Side note, real quick, guys, just want to let you know we will be having some giveaways here in the future. So please look forward to that. And oh, and be aware, this isn't the episode that we were talking about with the 25 listeners. That'll be next episode, episode
The next
8.
actual episode where we record together, that'll be the one where we're looking for the 25 unique listeners.
For
And
Tiny
then
Tina.
from there, that'll start the contest for Tiny Tina's Wonderland, and it'll be the Everything is Awesome pack or whatever the fuck it's called.
Chaotic Great Edition.
Whatever.
Yeah, that will be that comes with base game, Golden Hero Armor Pack, Dragon Lord bonus content, and Season Pass. So that's a lot, guys.
Just, get ready for our next episode, and yeah, take us out.
Yeah, appreciate it again, you having me on this podcast. And guys, until then, stay saucy. Cool, we
I
good?
swear if this doesn't record audio,